very good morning from Bangalore, India. I'm Adele Brito, your host. I'm the president of the Karnataka Goan Association and a senior manager with the State Bank of India. A big shout out to the Global Goan Art Club with the acronym GGAC, under whose banner we have this program, Different Strokes, which is GGAC's YouTube channel. The Global Goan Art Club is an online forum with the sole intention of giving artists from Goa this forum to encourage budding minds to foray into artistic fields fearlessly. Our guest is a creative, extra special person, a dreamer, a multi-talented lady with tremendous determination and inspiration, who wasn't afraid to back herself and pursue her dreams and use her ingenuity and inspiration to create an art form called miniature masterpieces. Ifima Pereira, welcome to this interview. She hails from Goa and is now settled in Dubai. On behalf of the Global Goan Art Club, I extend to you, Ifima, a very, very warm welcome.
Thank you so much, Adele. Thank you for this lovely introduction. I wasn't expecting it.
You're
Thank you so
welcome.
much. It's actually an honor to be on this platform, to be very honest. Thank you
Thank
so
you.
much.
Yes, indeed. Ifima, I've already mentioned a few lines about you, but just so that our audience will know a little more of your fascinating journey, tell us a little more about yourself. What started you on this art of creating miniature masterpieces?
So basically, just a backstory. I was born in Goa, but raised in Dubai. So I've been in Dubai all my life. So I call Dubai my second home. Uh, After finishing my schooling, I went to Pune to complete my graduation, and I've graduated in design. So I've come back to Dubai and I work as a graphic designer professionally, full time. Miniature art is something I have no idea where it's come from. It's come from a very unknown place, I can say. My mom, and I believe this, my mom used to collect these little figurines, like these small tea sets and teacups, and she used to very, very religiously collect these. And I think I used to really be fascinated by it, and in the back of my head I always loved these. I loved it when she would collect it, she would dust the little teacups and everything. And I think I just loved it like that. And one day a friend of mine handed me over a piece of air dry clay. And honestly, I've never played with Play-Doh, not much. I've not played with Play-Doh as much or anything. So when I was handed this piece of air dried clay, what fascinated me was the fact that this clay hardened after molding. So I thought, this looks like a really cute charm. And again, it was like a very small thing. So made my first piece, which was like a ice cream cone, and it was really cute. And everybody who saw it was just like, this is so cute, this is so cute. And again, the fact that it hardened seemed like a nice piece that you could put on your fridge or you could just stick anywhere. uh, Fast forward, I didn't take it further actually from there. But then fast forward to maybe a year later, I took it up. I did a bit of research on what air dry clay is, how it works. And then I just took it on from there. And that's how it
Wow,
began.
that's really awesome. Miniature masterpieces. It sounds so intriguing. Like, uh, do you look at food or do you look at some object and then your creative juices start flowing? And then you'd say to yourself, okay, now let me make a miniature version of this. Is that
Yes.
how is that how it happens, Ifima? Could you tell us a little more on that?
Absolutely. Actually, the fact of seeing something in real life and then shrinking it in your imagination to a completely small size, to a very small scale,
Yes.
is something very fascinating for me. And since I've been doing this for almost 3 to 4 years now, so whenever I see something, especially food, that is really well plated, I get really fascinated with well plated food. So
Yeah.
immediately in my brain, I see it as a very small thing. And I have a million photos of food in my phone that is as reference, that I keep as reference.
Yeah.
And to a point where even my friends have started seeing it that way. So I mean,
Yeah.
good food, well plated food, food that has good aesthetics really inspires me a lot. So I have like a big mood board of food, different cuisines also. So I see these. I have not ventured into other elements, but I'm slowly starting into it because a lot of
Yeah.
people are asking me for it. Yeah, so for me, just that the fact of seeing something big and then shrinking it in my imagination is what gets to me. And it just drives me, and I want to try something more. I actually try to challenge myself from food pieces, but then I try to
Yeah.
challenge myself with gravies, with different
Yeah.
textures, basically. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Wow, that's so fascinating. Oh, would you call it a hobby? Or at some point of time, will it become a business? Will you be able to earn from it? Is my question. Because I'm sure a number of budding artists will be interested in this.
Yes, of course. Actually, it started off as a hobby. It started off as a hobby, just doing it because I could. And people actually started asking me if I was selling it, but I wasn't back then. And I just said, no, I just make it for myself. Until I started getting a lot of requests from friends and families. And I thought about it and I said, maybe I could. And then I started selling them off as magnets. And I got a lot of requests for magnets. I think one of my best sellers was our choris pao. People were
Wow.
fascinated with the choris pao,
Yeah.
and I think it
Yeah.
just took them back, especially Goans who are out of India, who do not
Yes.
have access to chorisa that often. I had got a lot of
Yeah.
messages, and it feels very overwhelming when people tell me, you really reminded me uh, of my of my home food. So it
Yeah.
really
Yes.
gives me a
Yes.
lot of pleasure when people say that. So I think that's a really good thing. And yeah, so eventually from magnets I went to keychains, to smaller items, and my latest that is a big hit is I've been doing frames. It started off
Okay.
with a memento I'd made for a friend's mom who had passed away in March. This was a very dear aunt to us. So and
Okay.
she was an amazing cook. So what we did was I gathered some of her favorite food, and then I
Okay.
minimized all of them. I made small miniatures
Wow.
of them and gifted to them in a frame. So this worked well with a lot of people. So a lot of people liked it. And the best thing about it is it's a great gift to give someone, to honor someone.
Yes.
So people have started
Yes.
asking for farewell gifts and all of that. So yeah, that's
Okay.
what it.
So we'll expect you to set up your small business soon
I
and
hope, I
hopefully
hope
we
so.
place orders.
I
Yes.
hope so.
Yeah. Yes. I know that you are a wife, a mother. I know you're working full time. How do you balance your professional life and your personal life? How do you find time to pursue your dreams, your art? Tell us about
I
that.
I think all the credit just goes to my family for that. This is not a one-man job. Although physically I'm doing this by myself, but I would say I have a very strong team behind me, which is my family. My husband like really supports me in this. I mean, he's also so excited with my new ideas and everything. And of
Wow.
course, like you mentioned, I do have a 1-year-old son, so it gets a little difficult. It gets a little
Yes.
tricky. So he does help me manage my time. My parents used to like tell me if you want, drop him off, take the day off, do your miniatures if you have to, because they understand the art, they understand how I need that time. So I would say yes, I have a very strong team. My brother's a photographer, so if you see on my
Okay.
page, some of my pieces have been beautifully photographed by me. Usually I do it myself, but some of, if you see,
Wow.
the best ones are done by him. So I
Wow.
would say I have a very strong support team.
Support system. Yes,
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 yes. It's, I mean,
absolutely.
everyone. I'm like my in-laws. I mean, they understand the need for time, because of course, when you're doing art, you need that time. You need to be in your space. So I
Yeah.
feel like that's very important for family to understand that and to have that sort of support. Some people, I mean, probably don't get it. For some people, painting or sculpting seems like a time pass sort of a thing, but for an
Yes.
artist, I'm sure it means much more. So the
Everything.
fact that,
It's
if your
everything.
family understands that, it means a lot.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Ifima, tell us lastly, what is the secret of your success? See, most of us, we have dreams, but they stay unrealized because we get caught up in the, day to day, mundane work. So tell us how you stay focused, how you allow, allow yourself to reach this kind of success, managing all the jobs at hand. Maybe you could give some tips to budding artists, which I'm sure they're definitely going to find it invaluable. So tell us something about that.
I would say I just have one thing to say is just try till you succeed. And I think it's a very cliche saying. I know a lot of people have said it to me when I was younger. I have said it to people, but it's a very important thing you need to keep in mind. You have to try. I have told a lot of my younger artists that I know, a lot of nephews, nieces, younger friends who have the talent, but I have known that artists are very shy people. We are very shy. We are
Yeah,
more like, just see my art and that's it. But some of them are even scared, like, should I show my art? I don't know what people are
yeah,
going to think. I don't think you should think about what people are going to think. What's most
yeah,
important is you like your piece, you like what you're doing, and just keep at it. If you have something that you feel you want to do, just try it. This has happened to me, and I'm just talking
yeah,
this from experience. I have had pieces where people have asked me, can you make this? Or even I have seen maybe a dish that I would have loved to make, and I have questioned myself, will I be able to do this? Should I do it? But until I tried, I have amazed myself. I There was a particular piece that I made. It was a paneer tikka piece, and
wow,
I questioned myself. I was not sure if I could do this or not, but I tried and I did it, and I got it in the first go. So until you try, you will not know what your capabilities are. So I can only say try, and don't be afraid of failure. I was so afraid of failure. I was always scared to fail. But
yeah,
I think it's important to fail, because only once you fail, you then learn from your mistakes and then you improve yourself.
yes, yes,
So my just my advice to someone, younger people, even older, whoever has, if you feel you have the talent, go for it. Don't think of what others think. Don't think of what people are going to say. Don't question yourself. Just try it. If you like it, put it out into the world.
yes. So basically, just back yourself. Pursue your
Exactly. I
dreams
mean,
and
I
back
think,
yourself. Yes,
yeah, you are your best cheerleader.
yes, absolutely. It's been a pleasure, Ifima, talking to you. And I'd like to
Thank you.
thank you. Thank you so much for your time on behalf of the Global Goan Art Club. Thank you very, very much. It's been
Thank
a
you.
pleasure.
It's been a pleasure talking to you also. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you.